birthday, Benedict. What? How many people are excited about today? That's everybody. Guys, we're so excited to be back here in NOLA and this stage, which feels like, I don't know, the Price is Right or something. It's very inviting.
Robbie, it's like Shamu lives here.
It's like Shamu, it really is. We got the wet zone up front. And to me, this atmosphere really feels like tonight at the Saturday Night Special, we're going to have some people coming up close to the stage. There's that room. You heard me say it.
Leave your seats if you dare.
Yeah. Guys, I know you met them yesterday. I just met them this morning. Please give it up for the band. On the bass guitar, that's Robot Mike Borja. Still playing with one arm because he is a robot. On the drums, that's Mr. Stephen Norton. And on the guitar, lead guitar, Mr. William Moran. I see there were foregoing the solos this morning, gentlemen. Nobody told me, no one tells me anything.
We were overserved.
You were overserved last night.
We're in no shape to solo.
Oh, okay, I see.
We're very overserved.
Now I know what I'm dealing with.
Yep. Bunch of drunken, hungover,
Right.
exhausted.
Well, you know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about Jared Jensen. I'm excited about Misha. Is Mark Shepard coming? I guess Mark Shepard will be here. I know for a fact that the guy with the baseball hat will not be here, but instead you'll get the B version of him. That's me right there. Ruth Connell's here. BB Briana, Buckmaster. Kim Rhodes. who's first on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep it going for the dynamic duo, Briana Buckmaster and Kim Rhodes! What you gonna do when we come for you, bad girls, bad girls? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad girls, bad girls? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad girls, bad girls? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Kim was walking up and she was like, "This sounds like Rob Benedict."
Remember me?
I'm so happy you're back.
Yeah, you're sick for one con, and
I
yeah,
know.
I'm not contagious.
That's the sound of my
I'm
butt.
backing
Yeah.
You're backing up. You're not Are you ill?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay. You're not contagious.
I missed the last convention because I was, but I'm not anymore.
Not anymore. I'm glad. Are you still tired?
Very.
I'm still tired. I don't think it's because I was sick. I think I'm just very tired.
Yeah, I've got that weird COVID thing where it's like, it's long gone, but I'm still a little bit like, asleep.
I know. I was watching you. Your voice was like, "This is gonna be great. This guy is here. This guy is here." And your body's like,
That's about how I
"Oh
feel.
God, that's too."
That's all right. I'm trying.
It's hard. Don't
Yeah.
hurt yourself. We
No, I'm
love you
fine.
and we need you.
No, yeah, no worries. I'm good.
Have you seen The Cure yet? They're on tour.
You guys have a great time, right? Glad you got me cooler.
Kim's brought a picnic
Yes,
for us
return the
all.
cooler. All right, I love you. Where's Sydney Ray? Where are you? Where
Did you
are
say hey?
I have your cooler. Don't just fucking sit there. Come get it.
She's not here.
She's not here.
She hates us now. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't. She doesn't.
No, she's just
She's sleeping.
tied one on last
Yeah.
night. She, like everybody, who was at karaoke last night? Oh, see, some of them got up. Let the record show that I brought Sydney Ray's cooler back for her. She's not here to receive it.
What was in the cooler, Kim?
Cheese. So
lot.
much cheese. This is what
lot of
happens when you
cheese.
have someone from Wisconsin who knows you. Oh man, all right, it's just gonna fucking sit there. And if she comes in late, she's gonna come get it in embarrassment. Okay.
Oh, you texted her? Thanks, Amanda.
All right, I'm going back over here where my coffee is.
Kim has 2 coffees today.
I have 2 coffees.
I did as well, but I already drank one of them. So good luck to us all by the end of this panel.
It's gonna, yeah, you're gonna watch it. Just mark. My voice will rise in octaves.
That's
And
true.
I will stand up and start pacing. It'll be exciting. And then I'll get happy. Right now I'm happy, you just can't tell. Because I'm too tired to show you.
I went out with the Winchester kids last night, which is why I have 2 coffees this morning. No, I had like 2 drinks. I really, and nobody was tying one on. It's so funny. It's a different generation. That when I was 20, I was like at the club getting hosed down because I was probably trying to wrestle my best friend. They are like, I will have a beer and a big glass of water. Then we all went to back to the hotel and had salads. So it's a really different generation. But we had it was a great time. Yeah, it was so funny because I had told them, I was like, I'm gonna try to hang out with the Winchester kids tonight because I don't know that I'll see them otherwise. And I said, but if we're gonna go to like a club or something, I'm not standing in line. And these kids are like, no, we're just gonna go get a quick beer. And then all they did was talk about all the coffee places to go to in the morning. I was like, what is happening? I'm here for it though. These are 20-year-olds that I can hang out with. They're very sweet, I adore them.
I got home after the last convention when they all captured my heart. And I'm sitting with a child who's 15 and she's watching, yeah, she's 15, and she's watching her YouTube and I'm doing my Sudoku and then all of a sudden I hear something and I look over and I'm like, what are you watching? She goes, my YouTube news. And I went, oh, okay, but why are they talking about Meg Donnelly? And she goes, it's Zombie High. You guys know about this? You know,
Zombie High is the show.
Yeah, she's a big, you know Meg Donnelly's a big fucking deal, right? You know this? let me
Yeah.
tell you, I made the mistake of saying the words that I shall forever regret. I know her.
That'll learn you.
The number of videos my child has sent me. Show this to Meg. Give this to Meg. This is me. And Meg Donnelly is so sweet. And I am the mother that's like, this is a bad fucking idea, but I'm going to do it anyway because my kid asked me to. So I'm like, she sang one of your songs for you. Here it is. Meg watched the video on the side of the street last night, singing along with my daughter.
Did you get a video of that?
Right, no, because my phone was,
damn it.
Yeah, so, yeah, she's the best person ever, and she might love Meg Donnelly more than she loves Rob Benedict.
Do not tell Rob that.
Not tell Rob that. I will not, because Tabby's like the one person he can count on
Always.
in any room,
Yes.
always.
Yeah, unconditional love.
Yeah, it may have been usurped. She's got a heart that's big enough for everybody, though. She can be everyone's #1 fan. She's recorded.
She has a lot of love to give.
She really
I would
does.
never be concerned that she's also loving somebody else now.
She recorded one of Briana's songs off of her album.
Do I Move You, right?
Yes, she went into the sound booth, because we do voiceover auditions, so she went into the sound booth and sang Do I Move You, and sent it to Briana.
It's amazing. It's amazing. She's the best fan ever.
She really is.
But she and I are tight. She and Valentina are tight when we lived in Los Angeles, so. Did you guys think you were going to ask questions?
They didn't, actually. Nobody's lining up.
Nobody's lining up.
You know that we will eventually talk about our periods.
Do you guys
If y'all don't fucking get up here and
You heard me yesterday, luteal phase. If you don't know your cycle and you're over the age of 40, I encourage you to get on that. There's
I wasn't kidding. You thought I was fucking kidding? I don't fuck around about periods.
Amanda
Yeah.
really wants
All
to
right.
ask something.
Okay.
So, Meg Donnelly, I didn't know who she was when I went to Atlanta last weekend, and I apparently had a whole conversation with her. And you guys are right, she's really, really nice.
She's lovely.
Just had a whole conversation about her shoes and how afraid I was of them.
She's wearing those big white ones, right?
Big white ones. I was looking at her and I said, if I even looked at those, I would break my ankle.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, they're nice. Really nice lady. So, my question, Kim, I don't know if you can see me, but you designed this shirt.
Yes, I did. Frank Turner fanboy fan.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Tim loved it. My question is, do you listen to Frank? And if you do, what is your song?
No. I only exclusively listen to 80s alternative, industrial, and new wave.
And Briana
Only.
Buckmaster.
Ever.
Yeah.
I will occasionally branch out into 2000s Belgian industrial because it fucking sounds like 80s industrial new wave. That is my sensory stem. Do not come for me. I will fuck you up.
He has a song, Kim. He has a song called Heartless Bastard Motherfucker.
I don't care. We care, but we don't. I care. I might care when I finished my coffee. You probably should. I believe you. Now, here's the thing. I love and support other people's passions, but I have narrow windows that I do for my own little stimmy stuff. And it's still stuck. When the kids were like, "You're gonna come out last night?" I said, "Are you going to Club Depeche Mode?"
But can you imagine if they're like, actually we are?
Then I would have been yes. And if they played Frank Turner at Club Depeche Mode, then I would probably like him. But right now, he is exclusively yours and Tim Amundsen's. I will not rein in on that party. Thank you. That's what I give.
They got the memo to turn up the heat in here, didn't they?
They did.
Now we're talking about how hot it was outside, so we were waiting for a while. At the loading dock, the door was locked, so we were waiting for a while. And Ruth was like, my makeup is melting. I'm like, my hair is starting to frizz. And then we come inside, and we're like, God, it's so cold in here. It's just like fucking Goldilocks. So, hi.
Hi. Hi. So my question is, if you could stick your character into any episode they're not already in, what would it be?
Of Supernatural?
Yeah.
Oh.
The finale. I would have changed everything. I would have been like, Dean, oh, look out there. Watch out, Dean.
don't know. If I could put, this has got too many ramifications, because why is my character there? How would my character change the plot line? Is it just because Kim is having fun hanging out and goofing around with the people? Or is it because I truly feel that you need Jodie in this storyline? And if you truly need Jodie in the storyline, why is that me making up that story and not the writers making up the story? So if I was supposed to exist when I didn't exist, then why didn't I exist there? What the fuck are you doing to my brain with that question? I don't know.
Did you learn a lesson today?
I don't know.
Don't ask Kim Rhodes questions.
You need to be concrete with my brain. Unless it's a question about Depeche Mode. 9 Inch Nails.
What do you like about Depeche Mode?
Everything. All of it. All of it.
You're a genius, thank
you.
It was a great question. We're too tired to give you actual answers, so.
Usually Saturday morning, for those of you who have never been to a convention before, you're like, well, I was at this panel yesterday. Why the fuck are they doing this again?
This is the salty version.
This is the salt. We try to give you something different every time you have to engage with us. So this is the salty version. Usually Saturday mornings is the women's panel. Like there's a bunch of us up here and you get to see us engage that way. Ruth is working and Meg is sleeping. We should make them include.
I was thinking that this morning. I was like, why the fuck isn't Meg doing a panel with us? That would be so fun.
That would be awesome.
Write your favorite creation, people.
Just be like, look, that panel was more negativity than I can deal with. I depend on those girls to be
Those
sunshine
girls told me to go
up my
fuck
ass.
myself when I tried to ask a question.
First question, somebody told me to fuck off, and it wasn't Briana. I depend on Kim for mom love, and she's frightening this morning. We all hate them. So yeah, write some letters, and Saturday mornings will include other people.
That's right.
In the meantime, we do like to change things up. So this morning you're getting
Back in the day, like pre-pandemic, we used to show up. There would sometimes be 6 women on a panel, occasionally. And half of us were still drunk. And now we're just like, there's too much cream in my coffee. We're the oldest ladies you've ever seen in your entire life. Here they are, folks. The oldest ladies ever to live. Hello, honey.
Oh, but I felt it to start a little bit. It's okay, I'll be better by the end of the panel.
I feel my back sweat. It's substantial.
Is it?
Well, it's drying up, but you know. You're welcome. Sell it on eBay later. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my question is, y'all kind of in my eyes, y'all kind of like adopted like a mom sort of role in the supernatural films, or series. So my question is, what is your favorite characteristics of Claire, Alex, Patience, and Kaya?
Oh, I don't remember any of those people. I know the actors, but I don't remember, because I actually only, I think I gave Clark, who plays Patience, I gave her, who knows how to use not a flamethrower. What did I give her?
A flamethrower.
No. Okay, here you go. What do I give her? Okay, here you go. Shotgun? Is it a shotgun? Yeah, so I remember we had that. I was like, who knows how, because I asked her if she's ever used a shotgun before, and then she said no, and I said, okay, here you go. I don't think I ever had any scenes with Alex, other than when we were putting the house back together at the end. So I didn't interact with many of them, is my point. However, I interacted plenty with the actresses, so I'm going to tell you some fun stories about them. Who played Kaya? Yadi. Oh my God, instantly loved Yadi when I met her. She is the oldest soul in the youngest, teeniest, just spiciest little body. And we would go out we had a big cast dinner one night with the producers and everything, and we went out for a drink beforehand, and it was probably 20 years old, 5 foot nothing, and she would go up to the bartender and go, honey, hi, do you mind if you made me a special cocktail? And he was instantly charmed by her, but just having this 20-year-old tiny thing. She didn't snap her fingers, I don't know how I did that. But having this 20-year-old call like this 50-year-old bartender honey was just the cutest thing I'd ever seen. She's an old soul. She and I could talk on and on forever about like kind of spiritual things. You had the same, remember you guys talking about crying over avocados?
Oh, yeah.
About how green an avocado was.
You're holding life in your hands.
And
No one else? Fuck you.
Clark Bacco, I still am in contact with. We actually, when I was living in LA, used to hang out quite a bit. She also is a brilliant, very, very mature, elegant, but also goofy lady. She's so talented. She's got a bit of a rising star right now, and she can eat more food than you have ever seen anybody eat in your entire life. And she's like, I know it's gonna catch up with me one day, but I'm just so hungry. And she would fill her pockets full of sandwiches between meals in the event that she would get hungry. I just thought that was hysterical. Catherine Newton, who's also a big star right now. She's a very talented lady. I met her before we started shooting the show at a convention, and she was very sweet. She was very young, and she really wanted to be, it was so funny because she really wanted kind of us to take her under her wing, and I think maybe she didn't get that opportunity to, but she's very, very sweet, and likes to have people around her that to kind of protect her. And then Catherine Ramdeen, she is such a wild card, and she is such a recluse and lives her own life that I remember one time at a convention, we lost her. We lost her. She was just like, oh, I went out and was living my life because we couldn't get a hold of her. And I just love that about her. She's like, I think I'm supposed to be somewhere, but I just had this life to live, so I couldn't make it. I was like, it was so brilliant. Anyway, it's so funny to have all these personalities in one beautiful little show. So that's the long story about the people who are not those characters. I love them. I miss them all. Thank you. Hi.
I love you both. You're both amazing.
Thank you.
The question is for you, Kim. So I am a mom to two badass kids that are on the spectrum. And I am involved in theater, and I take them to the theater with me, and they are so artistic and beautiful, but the world doesn't always match up with that. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are in involving kids, especially kids that you love, and getting them into the arts and getting the world to kind of bring them in with you.
Oh, I can't do fuck all about the world. I can't. I wish I could. Like, I love that phrase, I wouldn't change my kid for the world, but I'd change the world for my kid. But that is a lot of weight to put on my own little neurodivergent shoulders. So, it seems so simple, and yet it's so hard to do. The best thing I can advise is let your children tell you what would make them happy, and then find a way to make it happen. I mean, it seems so simple. It's fucking impossible, because I want to apply my own definition of happiness on top of my kid all the time. But if I actually listen to her words, like there's this idea of, oh, how do I get my kid to make friends? And she's like, I fucking hate people. I have 2 friends, and that's all I want.
I feel that way.
Oh, well then, me putting you in clubs so you can make friends is my standard, and my concern, and my ego. Kids will tell you what they need, and I don't think this is just neurodivergent kids, but I don't fucking know, because my kid happens to be autistic, so that's the one I know. And what I know, and what I've learned from autistic people, is listen to us. So I appreciate you asking me, and my suggestion would be, I don't know, if they want to come, then let them come. If they want to try something, let them try. If what they're trying is considered societally a spectacular failure, you need to weigh the outcome of, like, what that means. Like, my kid is not a good fucking singer. She has no muscle, she has dyspraxia, so making the muscles do what the brain tells you to do. So her singing but I still played it for Meg, being like, oh God, this is gonna go horribly wrong. I didn't know what Meg's response was gonna be. That's my fear. That's my judgment. Those are the voices in my head. So just try. And
Just to clarify, they do
gonna be-
want to be involved, they ask for it, it's the world that isn't accepting them into it.
that's painful. So what I try to do is be like, look, you are not how the world treats you. The world is fucked up and shitty sometimes. So let's look for an environment where you can do what you want to do and be happy. It means moving a lot. It means adjusting a lot. But the world's acceptance is at the same time vital and bullshit. So I have to model which one I choose. Like, I can't tell my kid that the educational system is bullshit and then get pissed if she gets a C. I have to be like, yeah, that's not, So if the world is not giving you what you think the world needs to give, how can we be happy with what exists? How can I be happy with the circumstances I have and then try to get in there and change? Because like I changed the world by example, right? I changed the world by saying, I invite you to look at this differently. I can't go out and be like, fuck you, give me what I want. Because that doesn't, give my kid. Just be like, all right, well, these are the conditions. How do we find joy in these conditions? I don't know. Tomorrow I might have a different answer, and people will probably point out flaws in that answer, and you're right. I am frequently wrong. I'm in the process of learning, and that's one of the ways I love myself, is I give myself permission to be okay where I am right now. But I also, when I learn something new and somebody's like, well, if you don't change the world, then we stay in conditions of inequality. And I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. But you're also right. That is also a very valid thing. You should not be afraid to make changes when changes need to be made. So go fuck up the system so we can all be happy.
Is this a pin or a hairpin?
It's a hairpin.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's like a barrette.
Yeah.
Oh, because I only saw the one thing here and I was like, is that like got a safety pin? You put a safety pin in your head?
I stapled it.
I mean, I know you're
I'm going back to my room.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I know you like Depeche Mode and all, but
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Oh, God. Remember when we used to wear safety pins in our faces?
Did you ever pierce your friend's ears? You pierced your own
All the time.
ears.
I was the one that they came to.
Remember when I bought you a piercing in Germany?
Yes. And I had to take it out because they saw it they saw it.
Oh, in the show. Where was it? Where was it again?
Right here.
I do have a video of it. If I can find it, I'll post it for you guys. Yeah, and she was just like, oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, it's going in. Yeah, there it is. Okay, thank you so much. I was like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, next, if I get my other nipple pierced, then I'll bring you to that. Good morning, hello.
I'm not going to put video of that on Twitter, though. I know you all
That's
were
for OnlyFans.
immediately excited.
Your channel with Matt.
Good morning.
She's terrified. Hello, honey.
Just tad. But I want to, so my sister and I grew up watching, Zack and Cody and all that kind of stuff. And we were not allowed to watch Supernatural, but we watched it anyway.
Ooh,
That scans, yeah.
We kind of watched them close to the same time period of age. But I was wondering if you guys had any influential shows or books when you were growing up that made a huge impact. Because both of those shows definitely impacted my sister and I while we were growing up.
Yes. My youngest, well, let's see here, there's three. Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. How many fucking times did I spin around in my backyard going, they said if you just believe! They said if you just believe! Come on! Fucking I was like, I know I'm an Amazon! My mom knitted me, she knitted me a cape so I could, so Wonder Woman with Linda Carter. The Muppet Show, which had such subversive humor and love and really shaped my awareness of my difference and how I see the world a little differently, and that's okay. And Doctor Who. Tom Baker was my first doctor. And just seeing that there were television shows that validated stories I wanted to see, instead of like all my friends were watching Love Boat, and I was like, I don't understand why I want to watch television to not have to deal with humanity. No more people, please. I've peopled enough. And so I think all three of those shows represent that. So those were my formative shows.
I can't think of a TV show that I watched growing up that was really, formative or inspiring. I watched a lot of like Flintstones. But when I was a teenager, so I grew up in a town called Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, in the middle of Canada, on the prairies, middle of nowhere. My family was not wealthy, and I really, really, really wanted to be a performer. And all I could think was, how the fuck am I going to get from A to Z? Being from Moose Jaw, from a family that knows nothing about the arts, nobody has money to send me anywhere, you know. And back in the day, like, if children wanted to be actors, their parents would move with them to Los Angeles or something like that. That was always the story. But I loved watching shows like Sister Act because I loved any show that had music involved, because I always loved to sing when I was young. But I liked movies like Sister Act or Sister Act 2 because there was an element of somebody being discovered for what they can do that nobody knew they could do, and then their life changed. Like, it was a bit of a Cinderella story, and I loved Cinderella. Was my favorite story growing up. And I just love the idea that I don't have to do anything, and the universe will find a way to bring my dreams to me. And I to this day live my life that way, and I believe that that's true. If you just make the small steps that are that you have opportunity to make in your life right now, the universe will find a way to build a path for you. And I believe that to be true to this day. And so those were the stories that I allowed myself to believe in when I was young. Thank you. Hello.
Hey, do you have any advice for someone that is coming out?
I can't speak on that personal experience, but I can encourage you to be brave, and I can remind you that you are loved, and that if there are people who don't know how to support you in the way that you want it to be supported, I think that there's a chance they may be finding their own way through their feelings about it, but to lean into the people who know how to give you the love you need and deserve right now.
Thank you.
We're proud of you. In case that's you, I don't know, I'm making that assumption. Hello.
Hi. So, Briana, you're the only Canadian actor I've seen on Supernatural that hasn't also been on Letterkenny. And
What about Elena Huffman? She's Canadian, technically. She's dual citizenship.
I will say,
Eric Osrick's Canadian. Who else has been on Letterkenny other than, what's his pickle?
eight people have been on Letterkenny that are on
Clark.
Who?
Clark.
So you have Jarek.
Clark, yes.
You have Jarek Kesso in season 2, episode 4.
I don't know who that is, so it doesn't count.
He's
The main guy in Letterkenny.
And main star of Letterkenny.
Okay. Oh, yes. He created Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oscar, the Polish boy that Rowena gave immortality to, he's one of the main actors on Letterkenny.
Okay.
Tyler.
Our favorite, Tyler, yes. We know Tyler's on that show.
I should have saved the list, but there's...
Yeah, you can't fucking name him now, can you? No, I'm just kidding. Letterkenny, so here's how it works. I don't know if it works quite the same in the States, but in Canada, so there's tax credits at each city. So for instance, The Last of Us shot in Calgary because Calgary had a massive provincial tax credit for productions that came and shot there because they want to bring productions in. So, for instance, if I want to go work on The Boys, the production of The Boys, unless you are, you know, going to do a massive seasonal arc or have a massive cameo, if you want to come in and play a guest star role on an episode of The Boys, they need you financially to live in that city, to pay taxes in that province in order to receive a tax credit to the production. It all comes down to money. If you're ever wondering anything about a TV show ever, it always comes down to money. It's never about somebody's talented or not talented or whatever. So because Letterkenny is shot in, I think, Sudbury or something, in Ontario, and I live in British Columbia, it's the other side of the country, I would have to go to Ontario to live there, pay taxes there in order to get a role on that show. Because they'll need the tax credit, because Letterkenny is not a huge production, as I'm sure you can tell. So that's why.
Well, I would love for you to like live in the city.
Is it still on? They're still in production?
Yeah, like season 10 came out
Jeez.
like 2 months ago.
They toured or something. Didn't they do a live show?
I think like a couple, it wasn't like the full cast, but
Yeah.
I think a couple of them did events for a little bit.
I remember when Clark came on Supernatural, Tyler messaged me. He's like, "You fucking stole Clark!" Because he loves her so much. I'm like, "Yeah, we did." I actually have not ever seen that show, but I know Jensen is a big fan of it. And Tyler Johnson is one of our favorite people in the entire world. So I guess I'll go watch it.
I have a Tyler story. Can I tell you a Tyler
Yes,
story?
yes.
I'll be right there, but this just, it was a shiny idea. So, like a few cons ago when we were all wearing masks, I want to say this was in Vegas, and I got into an elevator, but as I have a tendency not to make eye contact with people. I stare at shoes. And so I got into the elevator and there were 3 sets of male legs. And
Everybody was masked.
And everybody's masked. And so I just lean against, I try to make myself as small as possible, but they're playing 80s alternative disco above me. It was like, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, Mickey, do-do. And so I'm sitting there going, don't dance. And 2 of the guys get off, and there's still just male feet right there, and I'm like, fuck, I just have the vibe that guy would dance with me if I danced. And I started doing this, and I saw the legs over there start moving, and I look up, and as he gets off, he's not making eye contact either. I was like, wait, Tyler? And he goes, what? I was like, I knew you'd dance with me! I knew it! I got your vibe! So, yeah, Tyler
That's awesome.
Tyler dances with strangers in elevators, in a good way.
We, remember one of our very first conventions in Vancouver, Tyler was not booked for the convention, but he lived in Vancouver, still lives in Vancouver, I think, and he came on and did a bit with us. He was like an assistant or something, wasn't he? Do you remember?
I don't remember this.
He came on, he
I
did
know
the
he
thing
laughed.
that Gabe did.
Oh,
He
yes,
comes on
yes.
and he like brings us our coffee, and we did a whole bit with the young men. Anyway, yeah, he's great. I'm sure the show is great. I'm not on the show because I'm too good for it. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, how are
Did
you?
you just want to say hi?
No.
Okay. That would be totally fine as well.
That would be fine.
All right.
What is
we're
your
ready.
favorite Depeche Mode song?
Oh.
Kim can decide for me.
Your favorite Depeche Mode song is probably, I'm gonna say it's probably not one of the dancier ones. It might be a little more contemporary. It's, I see the video in my head. I have to start from scratch with all of them. I'm singing it in my head. The one with that Martin wrote about his kids, but then they did the video about the dogs and the divorce. Precious. Yeah, I would say her favorite is probably Precious.
Love it. Man.
I am, oh fuck, I gotta narrow it down. I'm gonna say it's either People Are People or Strangelove. Although
Strangelove.
Master and Servant's up there too, when I say Western service up there. I love that. I am not lifestyle myself, but I am super lifestyle adjacent and have a lot of friends that love that song for many reasons. And I know that is I'm not going to expand on that for you, young man, but someday. So do you also like Depeche Mode?
No.
No. I don't blame you. Do you even know that they exist?
No.
They don't exist. Well, they just came out with a new album that's not so great. I'm not a big fan of their later work because they're
Still making albums, hey?
Oh yeah, they're still on tour. But
I love that you took this opportunity to ask a question that Kim really wanted you to ask. That was very generous of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hello.
Okay, what characteristics of Jodie and Donna do you feel you can relate to? Like, are there any of your own personal characteristics that come through when you play those characters that made it easier for you to get into that role?
100%. The thing that I relate so much to Jodie is like, well, that's fucked up. Somebody better do something about that. It's not gonna be me. It's right there. That problem needs to be fixed, somebody. Oh, for fuck's sake. That Jodie's like she is not to the fray I go, dum, da, da. She's not Scrappy-Doo at all. She's very like, all right, I'm getting my young life, I'll go, here we go. I love you very much and I don't want you to die and you deserve support and it looks like it's me today. And I remember when I was working in Ashland, Oregon, there's a big park there, and I was out with my friend, and I saw a dog loose, running, looking very scared in the park, and I was like, we have to stop our plans, I have to go get that dog. And she's like, I'm sure it's fine. I was like, it's not. I know it's not. In my heart, I know it's not. So we, and I got the dog, and there was a phone number on the collar, and so I called the number, and they're like, no, our dog's in the backyard. I was like, would you please go check? And they went and checked. They were like, our dog's not in the backyard. Please hang on to her. She's deaf, and she doesn't know how to get home. And I was like, yeah. So and this mother and daughter come, the daughter's sobbing, like clearly, and this beautiful white dog. And so and I'm like, okay. So and I'm sweaty and I'm covered in fucking dog hair, and I'm like, all right, so you think we can still, and she looked at me and she goes, you're that person. It's like, what? And she goes, you're somebody. Every time I see a situation like that, I think somebody will take care of it. Yes, you are. I believe that. And that's very true. That is one of the deepest compliments I've ever been given, but I also own it. I am abso-fucking-lutely somebody who's gonna be like, that worm's gonna die if it's left on the sidewalk, and I will not let that happen. So, I love that about Jodie.
That is brilliant.
I like that about me.
That is very you. That's a great definition of you. I would say that Donna, in the earlier episodes of her trajectory that I can relate to is that she will set aside her emotions for other people's comfort. Not her life, not her ambitions, but the things that she's feeling, she may put a sunny disposition over top of to make sure that she's not taking up too much of other people's time. I definitely have done that in the past and working to not do that so much, but I can definitely relate to that, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to say thank you. Today, 13 years ago, my dad died, so being here and stop crying in my room is very refreshing.
Welcome.
Well, we're glad you're here.
You're held, and you're happy. And as a parent, I believe both of those things are a great legacy.
So if you were to go to Comic-Con, what supernatural character would you cosplay as besides your own character?
Cosplay is so much work.
I feel like for this show, though, you'd just be wearing jeans and a flannel. I feel like it's actually pretty easy.
But like then you've got to go through the work of explaining that you're in cosplay.
Nah.
If you're at Comic-Con,
Then I'll just assume I was Dean.
If you're at Comic-Con, oh my goodness, you're back. You snuck in, you little sneakers. Hi.
We're back.
I don't know. I mean, I probably because it'd be easy, Castiel. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Get myself a little trench coat. explain to people that, yeah, put some wings on the back.
This is dark. I would go as Dead Dean. Just with the thing sticking out of me. Then I wouldn't have to explain shit to anybody.
That's fair, I like that way better than this, yeah.
They'd all just walk by me and going,
Oh, Daddy.
too soon.
Yeah. So dead.
Final
Hi,
answer.
guys. The coffee still hasn't kicked in. I'm sorry. They did not get their money's worth this morning. You have to compensate for my lack of abilities.
We're saving it for the OnlyFans. That's where our real money
We're
comes in.
saving it for a Saturday night special.
Yeah, good.
That's
As
what
you
Who's
should.
coming to the show tonight? Yeah, you are.
They're really good.
For those of you that are new, we do a show on Saturday night, and these guys come on stage and sing with us, and it's a real rock show.
It is
It's
a
an
real
actual
rock
show. You said it.
They are an actual, he is not just a real actor, he is a real actual rock god. And these are real actual fucking brilliant musicians. They are slumming it right now. I don't know if you know this, but these fuckers are only here because they know without us, our entire panel would just be sitting here crying. Going, my goodness, they're the only ones that make this good.
But I'm excited tonight because this venue is so cool and it's extra,
Totally.
extra space
It's like
out
a theater,
front.
right? I know.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one more time for Briana.